Hey there, YouTube. How's everybody doing out there today? You all ready for the weekend to come? Our cool weather has come back to South Alabama, so probably going to be a little bit of football. Try to get outside a little bit this weekend, and as I look out on my back deck, maybe build a fire. I always love building a fire at night in our little pit out there, but I was doing some reading this morning, just kind of my normal, just looking around on the internet. Sometimes I'll do that for a few minutes each morning. Found something good to share, and I just thought I'd come to you. So today we're going to talk about, is happiness an illusion? And I've got a couple of articles to read for you. And the first one is the illusion of chasing happiness. Chasing happiness. And we're going to kind of get into happiness. Is it realistic to chase happiness? Is it realistic to think that we're going to be happy all the time? I think sometimes that can be the struggle there, is people thinking that we're supposed to be or that we should be happy all the time. And here's a good quote by Henry David Thoreau to start off. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it will elude you. And this is a reading from elephantjournal.com, and I'll drop both of these short articles in the description below. We've all been there, thinking we can search for happiness that is external to ourselves. Keep that one in mind, looking for happiness that's outside of us. We chase this and chase that, hoping it's going to fill whatever void is within us. We hope we will find this elusive happiness and remain happy. The stark reality is we won't. And this can be a brutal lesson to learn if, in fact, we ever get to learn it. The truth is, the happiness we so desperately seek is within us, but we are not going to feel any sort of sustained happiness until we address the voids, the wounds, and the shadows. Anything other than facing our darkness, feeling what needs to be felt, and dealing with what comes to light is superficial. It's bypassing. It's an illusion. So why do we chase happiness? We are taught that money and material things are far more important than they really are. We are taught that our relationships should be some sort of a fairy tale. We are taught that being vulnerable, speaking of pain and sadness, and showing our authenticity and all its messiness is somehow a sign of weakness. We are taught to get busy, distract ourselves, search for what makes us feel good, all in the hope that we may dismiss any comfortable feelings. We learn to bury every fucking negative feeling we have and continue on our fruitless journey searching for external happiness. I mean, we certainly don't want to make anyone else uncomfortable by being honest with our feelings. I've seen this constant chasing of happiness. Hell, I've participated in it. It's exhausting, and while you always get a temporary high, a feeling of joy and happiness, it never lasts. Why? Because if you're trying to fill your cup externally, you will never be truly and peacefully happy. The reality is, we won't always be happy, and that's okay. Life happens, and we face pain, sadness, betrayal, confusion, guilt, shame, loss, and grief. Don't trap yourself into thinking that these things can just be pushed aside. Don't get caught in the bullshit of toxic positivity, the notion that we all must always be happy. Nothing will make you more miserable than lying to yourself and hiding how you really feel. You will never find happiness in another person if you are attaching yourself to someone in order to complete you or to make you whole. At some point, everything will come crashing down around you. It's fleeting. If you cannot be happy alone, you have some deep wounds to address. If you need external validation to make you happy and feel good about yourself, you will forever be chained to a fence of need and putting your worthiness in someone else's hands. You will not find happiness in a better job, more money, a bigger house, more likes, more followers, a better body, a younger face, a bottle, a pill, a snort, a toke, more clothes, another pair of shoes, a new car, or whatever else you think you might need to make you happy. Yes, all these things will give you a quick fix, but like any addict, you'll be searching for your next hit once all the gloss and shine wears off. That's the thing with voids. They always need to be filled. So what makes you happy? You make you happy. You do the hard work on yourself. You face your own toxicity. You tell the truth to yourself and those closest to you, and you don't dance with your shadows, and you dance with your shadows and deal with your wounds. You stop sweeping things under the rug and denying how you really feel. You show up for yourself with vulnerability and courage. Ignore the BS plastered all over social media of quick fixes and success at all costs. The internet is saturated with advice which sometimes is more damaging than helpful. Stop thinking shiny things will make everything better. They won't. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else's highlight reels. I've done the work and it's been bloody hard, and at times it's been excruciatingly painful. Some days you'll be left grasping for air, and on other days you will fall asleep exhausted from your overwhelming emotions. But be brave, because to get to your destination, you need to go through, not over, not under, not around, but through everything along the way. There are no shortcuts. Am I always happy? Of course not. I'm human, but I am happy within myself. But am I happy within myself? Yeah, I actually am, because I'm honest and I know there will always be ongoing inner work to do. I'm not scared of being vulnerable and feeling what needs to be felt. I've learned that fear becomes your friend when you finally dare to follow your heart and soul. My happiness does not come from another person, my job, a bigger house, or material things. My happiness comes from the knowledge that I've owned my shit, spoken my truth, walked away from what no longer serves me, and love and trust my tribe, which is reciprocated. It comes from knowing I gave my children a better mom, she must be British, because I chose a different path away from their dad, which allowed me to grow into who I am. It's following my passions. It's loving all of me, and each day I look in the mirror, I know I've become a better version. Happiness comes from within, but you need to be in a healthy environment conducive to happiness. Now I'm in this space, and it's such a feeling of joy that I walk along the beach, look out across the vast expanse of the ocean, and embody peace, warmth, and glow. I slowed down and went within, and a remarkable thing happened. Happiness found me. It's been the longest of journeys, but I have arrived. Remember that one too, happiness as a journey and not necessarily this destination or this place that we get to. Okay, sorry about that. Sometimes I don't use my iPad all that much, and sometimes I'll have things marked and I forget exactly where to find them. This one is why happiness is an illusion. And as I started, you won't find happiness here, only truths that will set you free. Anytime you ask people what they want from life, you usually get the same generic answers. To be rich, to have a big house and a big family, or to be happy. This post will dive into why the people who only want some form of generic happiness will most likely never find it. First, let's try to define what happiness is for the scope of this post. What is happiness? According to Wikipedia, the term happiness is used in the context of mental or emotional states, including positive or pleasant emotions ranging from contentment to intense joy. It is also used in the context of life satisfaction, subjective well-being, I don't know this word, eudaimonia. I'll have to look that one up. Flourishing and well-being. Since there's such a wide range for an individual's version of being happy, one can reason that happiness does not exist as a singular entity. You don't get whatever life gives you, you get exactly what you ask out of it. This is why the vague idea of just trying to be happy doesn't work out so well for most people. Everyone wants to be happy, but not many have a clear vision of what would bring about said happiness. Happiness is an illusion because a cloudy image of your desire can never really materialize. For most, being happy is a transient state that is often overshadowed by the next big thing. A lot of people claim they will be happy once they get a promotion or get married or finally go on that dream vacation. They enjoy it for a moment before they acclimate and return to their previous mental state, which was usually a desire for something else. Is the dream to remain in that one state of happiness forever? The pursuit of happiness is usually a struggle from one material possession to the next. That ephemeral happiness, which is brought on by external circumstances, doesn't last too long, and it can be easily taken from you. Are we left with no other choice than to fall in despair? There is yet hope for us if we are willing to reflect on our own life. I believe the happiness everyone is seeking is really inner peace, This type of joy comes from within. It doesn't require you to achieve some kind of goal, and it is available at this very moment. It comes from living in the present moment and being grateful for everything in life. It comes from living in the present moment and being grateful for everything in life. Going back to all my talks on gratitude, all centers back on gratitude. And if you're not grateful in life, there's no way to be happy. If more people lived in the now, they would find more contentment from life. They wouldn't constantly be anxious about the future or stressed about the past. There have been so many times I was absorbed by completing a certain goal, but when I finally achieved it, I was left with a strange emptiness. I had accomplished everything I wanted, yet the feeling of happiness had quickly faded. I began to realize that life was more than just reaching a destination. It's about the journey and having an intense conscious presence in each moment that will help you enjoy it more too. Inner peace will allow you to be happy at any moment by appreciating your health, family, and friends, and your own accomplishments. Happiness may be an illusion, but thoughts of inner peace will liberate you from distressed emotional states. I hope you can all access that reservoir of peace within. And the last couple of paragraphs get to the crux of what my beliefs from mindfulness, where it's not about good and bad, happy, unhappy. We find peace, we find our inner peace, and whether we want to call that happiness or not, it's more about contentment within the moment. Contentment, like if I'm feeling something, maybe I'm not feeling good right now, but I acknowledge that, and I don't put a judgment of good and bad on it. That tends to rob us of really finding this contentment, this freedom, this peace, is when we kind of tend to do that. So I would just say, like I say, it always comes back to being present in the moment. When we're just focused on the moment, it all is about right now. All our troubles usually come from thinking about the past, regretting the past, feeling guilty about the past, thinking into the future. When we are content with our present, when we're content with what comes up, that is, if that's defined as happiness, that's happiness. But I think in a way, contentment is a level above happiness, or maybe contentment is just a higher level of happiness. Just my 2 thoughts, 2 cents worth on that. But anyhow, like I said, just doing a little reading this morning, thought I'd share that with you. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll probably do a video over the weekend, and see you here again soon. Peace.